It's time for Sunday afternoon basketball. Welcome to the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario, as We Digital presents to you the OCAA doubleheader. It's ladies first as the Sheridan Bruins take on the St. Clair Saints. And good afternoon, everybody. This is Aaron Sanders. We got a good matchup for you today. We start the story with the Sheridan Bruins coming out in third place. They are right at the end of the back-to-back series. They lost against the Lambton Lions yesterday, which snapped a 3-game winning streak for them coming into 2019. And we talked to head coach Sean Douglas earlier about what will it take to win this game, and he says this is most likely be a game of runs, a run-and-gun game, and that's what Sheridan has been doing for the majority of the season. Going on winning streaks, and they're only picking up losses, but they find ways to get back onto winning ways, and you have to look out for their star scorers, Teresa Brown and Sydney Charvis. Those are the two go-to players for the Bruins today. And for the St. Clair Saints, they're coming off the first half of their doubleheader too from last night. They lost to Humber 84-66 last night, and they were looking to bounce back. They have a noticeable scratches with them today. Logan Kashera is still out, Tyler Carroll's out, and Noor Bazzi suffered concussion from last night's game, so she will not start, and in her place, Khalud Ahmad will get the start. So the St. Clair Saints, they're in 5th place. They want to get a couple of wins off to get in the top 3 space, but they got a good challenge against Sheridan today based off their scoring. Now, the last time these two met was at the beginning of the season on October the 20th, where the Sheridan Bruins prevailed by 15 points, but it was Anu Ulichny who provided the scoring tear for the St. Clair Saints, knocking down 3 after 3 after 3. So that's the story between both of these squads today, between the Sheridan Bruins and the St. Clair Saints. When we come back after this commercial timeout, we'll have Justin Prince and Royal Church on the call for you today. You're watching Saints basketball on We Digital.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the St. Clair College Sportsplex in beautiful Windsor, Ontario, for today's matchup in OCAA women's basketball between the 9-3 Sheridan Bruins and the 6-4 St. Clair Saints. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth today is Royal Church, as let's look at your starting lineups for today's matchup. As you can see, the St. Clair Saints being introduced to the fans right now. Let's look at those set lineups if we can right now for today, as you continue to see them celebrate amongst the fans and amongst the officials for today. The Saints going to be wearing their green and yellow jerseys. The Bruins wearing their blue jerseys today for today's matchup. Royal.
Yeah, Justin, it's going to be a good game. Sheridan's really improved from last season. Here we have the starting lineups.
Yep.
Do you want to go ahead, Justin?
Yes, indeed. Courtney Martin, Sydney Jarvis, along with Teresa Brown, Mara Douglas, and Sarah Watson will be the starting 5 for them today. For the St. Clair Saints, starting off is Kirsten Tompkins, Alana Ulichny, Yana Kusera, along with Khalud Ahmad and Kirsten Zelina. As action is underway from the St. Clair College Sportsplex. Today's officials, John McKibben, Barry Cullen, Chad Pereira, as the first shot put up no good to start off today's matchup. Saints trying to go up the floor, trying to get themselves the tempo. Just about 15 seconds into the first quarter. With possession, Ahmad swings it out to Casera. Casera for 3, gets it. Yes, she's got it.
Justin, fans watching on We Digital should watch out for number 11, Teresa Brown, and number 4, Sydney Charvis. Those are the 2 key players for Sheridan.
And a foul called on Khalud Ahmad as well. And we were talking about this before. Both are averaging about 16 points per game entering today. Both averaging around 5 rebounds per game as well. As the inbounds tossed in to Sheridan. Driving inside, Brown for the baseline. Jump shot. misses too long on the shot. Casera will take it back up the floor. 3-0 Saints, 50 seconds into the first quarter. Casera swings it out, Joechny. Joechny cuts inside, in traffic off the side of the boards. Brown will take it back up the floor, passed off towards Charvis. Charvis, baseline, passed inside in traffic. Inside, no good. Diving down on top of it is Charvis, puts it up, it's good. And there's the deadliness inside there from those two players, Charvis that time. 3-2 the score, about 90 seconds into the first quarter. As Casera cuts in, down the baseline for the shot, no good, Tompkins. And it's picked up out of bounds, that'll go to Sheridan. Royal?
Yeah, Kirsten Zelina is really important in today's game, Justin. She's a big body, strong, and she needs to control the backboard for the Saints.
Agree with you on that, as passed down low at the same time is Valigius. Valigius in traffic, intercepted by the Saints. Taking up the floor, Joechny, now Casera. Casera, mid-range jump shot, no good, too short. Tap back to the Bruins for the rebound. Brown will take, Jarvis, will take it back up. Tries to get the screen, passed across. Cutting back inside in traffic, Valigius. Draws the contact for the whistle. It'll go to the baseline for the inbound, second personal for the Saints.
It looks like what's going to happen here, Justin. Here's the replay of the St. Clair foul.
And it's going to go, it looks like, towards Ahmad, as you see going off to the bench already, a player for the Saints, third personal, pardon me.
Kaylee Chauvin, number 15 in the game for St. Clair.
Inbounded directly to Brown, puts up the shot, off the front rim, no good. Casero will take it back up the floor. Saints going for the high-tempo offense. Pick and roll set with Zelina. Casera way off the mark. Tompkins keeps it inside. Fresh 14 as it's stolen away from Casera. Jarvis takes it back up the floor for the Bruins. In traffic for the layup, misses to the left, tapped out of bounds, Saints possession. 3-2 to start off today, and both teams have been looking like they've been trying to have the run and gun offensive pace for today's game.
You can see, Justin, that Sydney Jarvis has had the ball in her hands every single time for Sheridan. So as Sydney Jarvis goes, Sheridan goes.
Yeah, Jarvis, the point guard for the Bruins, as we have a charge on the floor against St. Clair, their fourth personal. And already approaching the bonus is the Bruins for this first quarter here, Royal. Already into foul trouble as the Bruins try and get just their second made shot of the game. Courtney Martin passes inside traffic, and drawing the whistle, Camilla Orilla LaRock, as it'll be given back to the Saints, pardon me, after this play.
Nice play by Chauvin, tying up the Sheridan player for the jump ball.
Yes, indeed. Joechny no good on the three, picked up by the Bruins. On the pace, Martin. Martin gets deflected by Joechny. Second chance, though, put up by Brown. It's good. And Brown getting just the second made basket for the Bruins of the game so far for the visiting team. 6:46 to go in the first, as we have a travel going against the Saints. Another early turnover to this matchup. And substitutions coming onto the floor now for St. Clair. Jamie Chauvin coming in now in for Kaylee Chauvin. Also looks like substitution for the Bruins as well. Swapping back and forth, taking, it appears indeed, Brown out. Cutting inside, Martin, nearly intercepted, is intercepted by the Saints. Chauvin passed along to Joechny. Joechny off to Chauvin. Chauvin, the jump shot, no good. Picked up inside, it's gonna go against the Saints over and back. This one on Kirsten Tompkins, as no one's been able to really have any sort of flow. Both teams in a back-to-back, mind you.
Yeah, that's the fifth foul on St. Clair. No fouls on Sheridan, which is quite odd. But we're in a bonus here real early in the first quarter, excuse me. And that tends to be tough to deal with for St. Clair.
Courtney Fotopoulos was the one being brought into the game. Taking the free throws is Brown. But so far today, it's just looked like for at least these two teams, both had wanted to match the run and gun pace. Both teams stepping on defense. Miss 1 for 2 at the line, as you see for Brown. St. Clair trying to break through some of the pressure. Now down the baseline. Yolichny, to Tompkins. Tompkins gets the shot, it's good.
Huge shot for Kirsten Tompkins. She has to be at the top of her game today because Noor Bazi's out today with a concussion protocol.
Yes, indeed, after the injury from last night, could potentially be out for as much as, for the week as Yolichny. Pardon me, Casera gets the triple. 3 triples for St. Clair to start the game. Driving inside in response, Brown. In traffic, knocked out of bounds on the block. It'll stay Bruins possession. But that is the only offense so far for St. Clair, very important so far, as we look at the replay for the triple.
Yeah, very nice. I think that's a second triple for Jana.
Yes, it is. So far, 3 for 5 is St. Clair as a whole from deep so far. 3 for 9 from the field so far, Royal. Diving on top of the floor, keeping the possession is Charvis as the Lichtenegger is stored away. Now down the baseline for the jump shot. It's no good from Brown. Over and back fall going to be called against the Bruins. Ashley McDonald called for the foul.
Well, it took almost 5 minutes for Sheridan to get their first foul, Justin, which is pretty uncommon in the game of basketball.
And right now, pass down low, meanwhile, is St. Clair. Back to Tompkins, making another triple. 4 triples for the Saints. And they're on fire from beyond the arc.
Kirsten Tompkins with 2 triples. Jana Kusera with 2 triples.
And
good sign for the Saints.
Very good sign, including that steal. Casera passed off to Tompkins, nearly whacked out of her hands. In fact, Yolichny for the long-range shot, this time air ball, no good. Picked up again, McDonald, passed down the floor. Charvis tries to step back inside the arc, off the back front rim. And still, both teams ice cold inside the arc for the most part. Yolichny passed on back, Tompkins. Another triple.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. 5 triples. Timeout called. This time by the Bruins. And it's a 10-point lead. All the baskets so far today from triples. The last of them, this one. Unbelievable start to this game.
Kirsten Tompkins must have eaten her Quaker Oats this morning. She is knocking the threes down like crazy. She got 9 points on 3 3-pointers, and she looks really confident. That's good news for the Saints and Andy Kiss.
Absolutely right now, but the downside is everything inside the arc has been no good so far for just about everybody. 2 for 10 the Bruins from the field, 5 of 12. All 5 shots being made by St. Clair from outside. The Saints 0 for 7 inside the arc. What do you do if you're coaching staffs right now and seeing this and seeing no offense from either side other than the threes?
Yeah, it's this has been a game that you've had some unexpected performances here. Not from Jana Kusera, of course. We expect her to be outstanding. But when you got a young lady like Kirsten Tompkins, who has had a decent season so far and has been a very positive player, but she's really stepped up here in the first quarter.
Let's look at the women's basketball West standings in the OCAA entering today. The Sheridan Bruins 9-3, as mentioned during pregame. 3rd in the standings behind the Falcons and the Hawks. Saints 6-4, 5th in the standings. Coach Kiss talked a little bit about this game, said it was not a must-win, but a need to win, as the travel is called against the Bruins. Back the other direction as McDonald called for the travel.
You'll notice, Justin, in those standings that the Lambton Lions have slipped into 4th place ahead of St. Clair on a win last night. I believe they must have beaten Sheridan last night. So that's huge to move them up in the standings.
Very huge for sure. As mentioned, that game, Lambton last night was Sheridan, their matchup. 67-56, Lambton was the final as the rebounds picked up by the Bruins. Bruins trail by 10, under 4 minutes to go in the first. Pass inside to Watson, wide open, it's good. And Watson just hitting one of the few shots from the field so far for the Bruins, just their third. Shot no good from the Saints on the outside, as it's going to be a foul called against the Saints, I believe, in the rebound. Yes, indeed, with them in the bonus, the Bruins, they'll go to the line to shoot for 2. This one going against Tompkins, the foul. And right now, it's just trended towards that way, it seems, this game. The rebounds haven't even. The defense has been looking pretty solid in terms of statistically so far. But it's just been both teams that just struggled offensively.
Yes. Kirsten Tompkins obviously getting a rest. I would suspect she'll be back in around 90 seconds, Justin.
Yep. Haley Furr coming in for Tompkins into the game. Remember, both teams on a back-to-back as Furr watches the second of 2 free throws made. Substitution coming back into the game is Brown for the Bruins. On the floor now for the St. Clair Saints, Yelichny along with Furr, lined up with Selena Casera. And rounding out the 5 on the floor is Jamie Chauvin. Pass to the outside, Selena swings it outside to Casera to Yelichny. 10 on the shot clock. Passed outside, Casera for 3. Air balls it short. Tapped inside, inbound still as Furr picks it up. Yelichny with the bomb off the front rim, no good. Selena taps it out of bounds out the Bruin as they'll go back to Sheridan.
You can't, even though St. Clair has been shooting well from the arc, you can't get enamored with the three-point shot, Justin. You got to get the ball inside also and take the ball to the rim on the dribble drive. We don't want them shooting too many threes.
And you got to remember, they were ice cold from deep as well for part of the night last night, too, in that loss last night. Taken up, meanwhile, by Casera to Furr. Outside for the jump shot, no good. Picked up again on the aggressive rebound by McDonald. Rushing up the floor now, Courtney Martin. Leads the offense right into Yelichny and draws the whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2.
Well, 15-9 here with 2:45 left in the first quarter. Here's the replay. And it just moved a little bit at the last minute.
Yeah, this looked like it for sure, but is that concerning for you to have so many fouls for your team just in the first quarter?
Excessively concerning. Shouldn't happen, can't happen, but it did. So now St. Clair has to deal with that. And they're sending Sheridan to the line too much.
Zelina, meanwhile, gets the pass after the break of the press. And a double dribble called as Zelina went to the floor. He'll go back to the Bruins. Now, had a bit of a discussion with Sean Douglas before today's game and had mentioned that they wanted to step up a bit on defense after that game last night for them in this back-to-back. And we're seeing that come into play a little bit as they still trail by 4. Pass back to the post, Watson. And a whistle called. And this whistle called by Barry Cullen as he points to the sideline. Substitution coming in as well. At the same time, Marissa Mara coming in for Furr. And a discussion now in terms of what the call is here on the play.
Well, I don't think they called anything, Justin.
Yeah.
Barry Cullen just stopped the play when the girl got hit in the face for safety reasons and then gave Sheridan back the ball. Good decision as far as I'm concerned.
Good decision indeed. McDonald passed off to Brown, meanwhile, no good. Another missed shot to start off this game. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Mara looking around, trying to pass to Casera. Casera rolls around the perimeter just inside the arc for the mid-range off the back rim. Picked up again, McDonald for an air rebound as she tosses it off. Charged up the floor, Jarvis finding Martin. Martin to Brown. Brown just at the edge of the arc, gets it. That's a 2-point shot just inside the 3-point line.
Sheridan has had 8 unanswered points here. The score was 15-5, now it's 15-13.
And that's since the timeout at halfway point. Stolen back and forth by the Saints, meanwhile, as Yelichny misses the jump shot. A near chance for the Bruins to tie it up. Now a chance for them to do it here. Taken up by Jarvis. Jarvis steps on back. slowing down the offense. Under 90 seconds to go in the first. Brown with the interesting layup misses as the Saints get the rebound. Saints hold on to the 2-point lead as Casera hands it off. Mara again for three. No good for the Saints. And they continue to depend on the long-range bomb. Meanwhile, the Bruins picking up the run and gun. Cross court, McDonald drives baseline, gets some space. Doesn't get the lucky bounce. Second chance though for Brown, does get it. And make it now a 10-0 run for Sheridan. Sheridan has all the momentum here entering the final minute of this first year as Yelichi finds Mara. Mara, mismatch. Wide open lane, gets the late foul from behind from Watson. And now she'll go to the line to shoot for two as you'll look at the replay.
St. Clair, unfortunately, has been ice cold. Here's Marissa Mara going to the basket, fouled by the Sheridan player.
And that once again is Cheryl Watson called for the foul.
Andy Kiss seems to be struggling to find a couple of players who can complement his four frequent starters there. So now he has Tanae Freckleton, number 11 in the game, who hardly ever plays until the fourth quarter. So he's trying to find a combination that works here.
Yeah, right now with Freckleton entering today just 2.6 minutes per game. Entering today's game in 5 appearances for Freckleton. The Bruins have an 11-second different shot clock. Game clock as that's thrown out the window, stolen away by the Saints. Taken away Chauvin. Passed off to Mara. Mara nearly stripped. Call for the reach as the Bruins, just their third personal of the quarter. 11.4 seconds left. As you'll see the reach in right here on your WeTV replay. Digital replay, I should say.
Marissa Mara fakes, goes to the basket, and then gets grabbed by the Sheridan player.
Freckleton gets the inbound on to Casera. Casera for three. Way too long on the shot. One last chance for the Bruins on the first quarter. Pass down low to Brown to beat the buzzer, no good. And after one quarter of play, it has been a game of bad shots and defense. 17-15 Saints after one quarter of play. When we come back here on Digital, we'll have your second quarter right after these messages. You're watching Digital from the St. Clair College Sportsplex.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers, to find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor-Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Welcome back, everyone, to the St. Clair College Sportsplex. Everyone having some fun in the stands here after one quarter play as the Saints lead by 2. The coaching staffs and players, not so much. In the final 5+ minutes of the quarter, the Saints scored just 2 points and allowed a 10-0 Bruins run. That's got to be absolutely worrying for the Saints, going ice cold on offense in the final 5 minutes.
Yes, and it looks like Andy is substituted again. He's got Khalud Ahmad, number 21, I believe, in the game. She's an outstanding defender. Doesn't contribute much offensively, but really can defend well.
Travel called on Jarvis to start off the first possession for the Bruins of the quarter, as he'll go back to the Saints. The Bruins, meanwhile, also ice cold on offense. 5 of 17, the Bruins. 5 of 22, St. Clair. Just around 25 to 22 to 29% for these teams so far. Stolen away by the Bruins on the bad pass. Villagis leads it on up. Gets it in traffic for the layup. Ties it back up at 17.
Another St. Clair turnover leads to an easy basket for Sheridan. I mean, if you want to be successful, Justin, in this game, you cannot turn the ball over, especially when it leads to baskets at the other end.
Meanwhile, Zelina to the line to shoot two. I absolutely agree with you. It's been 7 turnovers for the Bruins, 6 for St. Clair as Zelina misses the first of 2. And it's not only that, the Bruins, of course, they have not been getting to the line. Just a couple fouls against the Bruins in that first quarter. Just 3 total. Just 2 attempts at the line in the first. Brown tossed on off to Martin, swinging around to the perimeter. Back inside, cutting in Villagis, passes to the perimeter inside Brown. Tough layup, just about got the end one, but will go to the line to shoot for 2 instead, as you'll see on the replay.
Well, what I've noticed here is we were told before the game this is a brand new coach, Sean Douglas. It's his first year. He's really inspired these kids from Sheridan. They're playing well. They're playing disciplined basketball. They're following his instructions, running offense, and they look really under control, unlike in years past. So that makes them a little tougher in terms of being an opponent for St. Clair here today.
I agree with you, and had been wanting someone, he had been also wanting someone to step up for this lineup for the Bruins. Meanwhile, the Saints, fast-paced, passing around, missing the shot that time down the baseline to Zelina. He'll be taken off by Martin. Martin passed on off to Brown. Has a slight mismatch, back out to Martin. Martin for the triple. Off the front rim, no good. Picked up again by the Saints. Saints trail by 2, just past a minute into the second quarter on We Digital. Justin Prince alongside Real Church. Aaron Sanders also joining us as our host for today's coverage. As Ulichny steps back on the line, misses no good. Rebounded by Ahmad inside. Back out to Zelina. 4 still on the shot clock. Up for another shot, no good. Chance to beat the buzzer, no good, as that will be a shot clock violation. Zelina tried to put it up.
Nice offensive rebound by Khalid Ahmad, the smallest player on the floor. Very well done, but that offensive sequence was pretty bad for St. Clair. 2 air balls.
Yeah, and that led, of course, to not having enough time to work with to get a quality shot. Now cutting inside, meanwhile, is Villagis. Puts in the banker, gets it. It stretches the lead to 4. Now, Leanna Rose Villagis has been someone that, of course, Coach Douglas has wanted to step up for Sheridan as well, entering today's game. Meanwhile, Ulichny inside Zelina, back out Casera for the triple. Too long, no good. Again off the back rim. Brown takes it up coast to coast in traffic off the front rim. A very tough layup, but Casera tries to rush back up. Casera hands it off. Contested jump shot, Ahmad, no good. Again, the ice-cold offense coming into play as Brown gets the pump fake, gets it. Able to shut Ahmad off on defense, as now the timeout's called on the floor from Coach Kiss. All of a sudden, it's a 6-point Bruins lead.
Wow, Saints have been outscored 18-2 in the latter part of the first quarter and early part of the second quarter.
And you got to remember, too, yesterday, it was a close game at halftime for that matchup, as you see on your screen, against Humber yesterday. 41-37 Hawks at halftime. Then, as Coach Kiss explained a bit to me, fell apart in the second half. 43-29 outscored in that quarter, while Casera scored 26, 23 for Metals in that matchup. Just the wheels fell off, as he said. And no post presence either in that matchup.
Yes, the second half yesterday was a train wreck. To be honest, it was a train wreck. St. Clair just lost it and got beat up pretty bad inside the paint. Humber kept going to their big players, and the big players kind of took them to the cleaners a little bit, and St. Clair didn't have any answer. And so it was a close game at half, as you said, Justin, but they blew it out in the second half.
Right now, back under play with 7:15 to go in the second. On the floor for Casera, lined up along with Mara, Yelichny, and Ahmad rounding out the 5 on the floor. Mara on the outside, 8 on the shot clock. Across to Casera, tap pass to Fur. Has to try and get it off. Casera, contested 3, banks it in. How about that?
How about that?
That was a very difficult shot while trying to be the buzzer as we go back the other direction. It looks like that time Jarvis losing her footing as the ball gets knocked out of bounds.
It looked like a little bit of a trap. There's the off-balance three-point bank shot by Jana Kusera. We're going to count that even though she didn't call it.
I get what you're trying to say there. As the Saints miss the shot, as the Bruins still lead by 3. 6:30 to go in the first half. Meanwhile, Villagis, pass down low, runs into a wall of Saints, back out to Villagis. 7 on the shot clock. Brown off the hands of Arilla LaRock as here comes Ahmad. Ahmad just misses. First, second chance, draws the whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2 for the Saints.
Tough luck, Khalid Ahmad. She's a real hustler and a hard worker. She had an opportunity to score this fast break layup, but unfortunately missed it. Haley Furr was on her toes, though, and got the rebound. She's at the line for 2 shots.
And Furr getting some decent minutes in this game so far, makes the first of 2 from the line on the season, a 75% free throw shooter, and someone a part, really, of that first-year core from St. Clair as she misses the second. One of the impactful first-year players as well in the season.
Yes.
6 minutes to go in the second. Sheridan Bruins trying to get a 2-possession lead as Brown cuts into Casera and going to be called for the reach. In fact, for the shooting foul, Casera, as Brown will go to the line to shoot for 2. You see why here.
There was a collision, and Jana was moving her feet a little bit, so I can see where the interpretation of a foul came there.
And substitution on the floor now for the Bruins. And it's going to be Courtney Patopoulos coming back into the game now. But for Brown on the season, 16 points per game, shooting 8% from the 38% for the field, 72% for the stripe. Also active on the rebounding game, 5 rebounds per game, and also 2 steals a game entering today's matchup.
It's become pretty evident here, Justin, that Sheridan really shoot free throws well. They haven't missed.
Yes, they absolutely haven't missed free throws much, as a foul called. And it looks like a push because a Bruins player pushed someone back from the front court to the back court. Saints keep possession with that situation. Just the 3rd personal for the Bruins in the quarter. Approaching halfway to go in the second. Yelichny misses the shot, no good in the lane. Trying to pass it off, able to pass it off as here comes McDonald. McDonald finds Brown, slowing back down the Bruins. Swinging around McDonald. Over Yelichny, too strong on the shot, picked up by Mara. Yelichny tries to rush back up. Down the floor, into traffic, stolen away by Brown. There's those 2 steals per game coming in. Finding McDonald, passes it right back to Ahmad for the turnover. Ahmad tries to rush it back down. Mara and Furr wait on the wings on the right side as Ahmad goes to the line to shoot for 2.
That was a good decision by Khalid Ahmad to take that to the basket in traffic. The Sheridan player got over late and blocked her, so she's at the line for 2. Saints need some scoring any way they can get it, Justin.
Absolutely, so far. Just 6 points in the quarter and still missing at the line, too. They've gone 1 for 2 with just about every single trip in this game so far. Ahmad makes it 1 for 2, in fact, once again. Just 3, make it 4 for 8 from the stripe so far.
Not good enough.
not good enough indeed. The Bruins, since missing one free throw in the first, are now 9 for 10 for comparison. McDonald in the lane gets the nice right hook to go. Up to a 5-point advantage now for the Bruins. Bruins slowly now into the 35% range from the field as well as it's tapped out of bounds, driving Ulichny.
Annie Ulichny is having not a very good half so far. Her shooting is off. She's missed threes as well as shots close to the basket. And that's not like her to do that.
And make it 0 for 11 as the jump ball is called for tied on up with Jarvis, as it looks like the Little State Saints possession as you look at the jump ball here. And look at the effort from Furr. Excellent.
But you can see that Anna's a little off in her shot. Just watching her body language, she's having a lot of trouble.
Mara blocked as the ball goes out of bounds. McDonald trying to dive for it. It's to 11 on the shot clock. And it's been kind of that way for the whole entire Saints to date. They are shooting under 20%. Ahmad in the lane, open, making another miss for St. Clair. This one goes back to the Bruins. It was tapped between Ahmad and Watson for the rebound, pardon me.
Here comes Andy Kiss with his 2-2-1 full court press, trying to make something happen, which is probably a very good idea.
And they're going to say an offensive foul on McDonald. So this is going to go back the other direction here. They're going to bring Martin back on the floor. But it looks like, trying to see exactly what was the cause of that there. It looked like a near defensive foul for a second. Either way, the press being responded now by Sheridan. Mara loses the handle. Ahmad keeps it in the front court. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Ulichny to Ahmad. Ahmad down low, rejected. Tapped around away from Forrest. Here comes the Bruins. Martin avoids the reach from behind. Going to slow down the tempo this possession as Watson sets up the screen. Wide open. Martin gets the lucky roll off the top screws. And it's been all Bruins.
What's the basketball term for puck luck? Because St. Clair's not having any luck today.
It seems like the buckets are just saying no. Another shot missed. McDonald trying to avoid the jump ball. And this is going to be a reach-in, I believe, on St. Clair. Yes, indeed, on the arm. And that's going to be the third for the Saints. Ahmad, it looks like, was the one who was reaching in. And what do you do if you're Andy Kiss to try and make any sort of adjustments at this point? Knowing this is the way the game's been trending, as it looks like we got a stoppage here on the court. As a staff member from the St. Clair Saints goes across the floor.
Somebody in the stands has said something to a referee or a player.
And that's from the Bruins men's team.
Looks like it.
Someone sitting along with that group. And if that is the case,
he's been asked to leave the gym.
You have to be professional, especially if you're an opponent waiting for your next game, mind you. Don't think I've seen that happen at this arena before. And now it looks like the entire Bruins men's team is now going to their locker room. And an interesting development to this game, still a 7-point lead for the Bruins as the women's team has possession. 3:18 to go in the second. Possession picked up Rowe. Losing the dribble, able to pass it on off to Brown. Able to fake off the slash. Watson puts up the long shot, gets it to go. Watson gets the bucket, and it's now a 9-point Bruins lead. Ulichny takes it back up for St. Clair meanwhile. Back to Furr. Pivots to the right. Into the lane through two defenders, way off the mark. Again, no good. Just 6 made shots the entire day so far for St. Clair. Down low to Watson. Guarded by Zelina. Gets the second help from Ulichny. Misses the bank shot. Nearly picked up. Is picked up by Watson. And the second chance, no good, tapped out. In fact, over and back on Watson, as that'll be the 4 personal substitution coming on as Tompkins comes back on.
Foul by number 42
Yes,
for Sheridan,
Watson.
which is going to send, I believe it's Zelina to the line.
No, that, if looking is right, indeed, yes, indeed, you're correct. They're sending her to the line with 2:28 to go in the second. Zelina to the line to shoot for 2. 2 personal fouls now on Brown, 2 as well in the game for Fotopoulos as well as 2 for McDonald, as Zelina misses the first of 2. Second one is good, and now it's 5 for 10 from the stripe as well, as Tompkins now comes in for Furr. So Furr stayed much longer than I think you expected for Tompkins.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Justin. I didn't expect her to be on the bench because she's a spark plug, and I think you'll find that St. Clair will pick it up now.
When Tompkins was on the floor, she went 3 for 3 from deep. Her only shots from the field with 3 along with 3 rebounds, but also 3 fouls, which is why she sat, I think, that long.
Good point. That's exactly the reason.
Missed shot on the first chance. Second chance from Rowe, no good. Picked up by the Saints. Selena Faniolichny finding Casera. Cutting inside off the front rim. Picked up by Brown. For Brown, 3rd rebound as she continues to try and take it up the floor on those possessions. McDonald tossed off Martin for the triple off the front back rim. Under 2 minutes to go as Sheridan tries to trap Jelichny. Jelichny passes it off to Casera. Casera slows it back on down, running the play with Tompkins. Tompkins make it 4 for 4 from deep. And
Boy, let's hope she stays out of foul trouble because we need her desperately.
Yeah, you mentioned us needing a spark plug. Has been the spark plug when she's been on the floor. Down by 5, St. Clair. Rowe having miscommunication on the play, it looks like, with Watson. Brown, meanwhile, trying to cut in Casera.
Nice job.
Charge. Great positioning for the charge by Casera.
Casera got in position, moved her feet, and drew that charge. That's a tremendous play for her.
And you see there, setting up the body, falls on back, keeping her feet as well, it appears there, to get that charge. Goes back to St. Clair, meanwhile, it's Casera. Tries to cut in, gets the N1. Count it.
Huge play. Again, look who's brought the momentum and the spark to the St. Clair team. Kirsten Tompkins, when she came in the game. She kind of lit the team up a little bit. Now she's going out again, I'm not sure. Oh, I know why. She has 3 fouls, as you mentioned, Justin. And there's only 59 seconds left in the half, so Andy Kiss doesn't want to risk her getting her next foul.
I agree with you. You don't want to have 4 in a half, let alone 3, to be in foul trouble, of course. As now that makes it 10 for Casera. Timeout. Hold on. It looks like they originally thought there was a timeout. The officials waving off the timeout. Kiss saying, I did not want a timeout, so they're going to keep them on the floor. So we will keep playing on with 59 seconds left. And now what is going on? Now it's Bruins possession. They take it up the floor. So an interesting game so far here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex here as it's tossed along to Jarvis. Jarvis for the triple off the front rim. Rebound scramble as it's picked up by Kaylee Chauvin. Selena trying to hand it off with the press. Backing off as the Sheridan defense. Tossed along to Jelichny. Keeps it inbounds. Intercepted though by Sheridan. 7, make it 8-second difference. Shot clock and game clock. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Cutting inside the Bruins. Drawing the whistle on the drive as Fotopoulos. And we'll see, yes, indeed, it will go towards the Bruins to the line to shoot.
Here's
for 2.
the replay. Marissa Morrow was a step slow on defense, didn't have good positioning, and fouled the Bruins player.
And makes the first of 2 as well. And at this point, with the shot clock going to be off after this next free throw potentially, a lot to discuss, you have to say the least, for these 2 teams. As they bring Tompkins back in, St. Clair does. A lot to discuss.
Yes. Kind of interesting to see Kirsten Tompkins coming into the game with 21 seconds left.
And this one tossed out of bounds. And another miscue. Make it 10 to 10, the turnover differential. Furr now getting ready to come back on in. Substitution as well for the Bruins as Uriah LaRock comes out. Timeout is now called on the floor with the shot clock off here in this second quarter. As you see Andy Kiss really upset on that bench. We like to remind you, of course, the Windsor Express Basketball Review can be seen every week on We Digital with head coach Bill Jones. Be sure to tune in on We Digital on WeDigital.ca as well as on Facebook Live to keep up with the MVLC and the Windsor Express.
Congratulations to the Windsor Express on an overtime victory. They beat the London Lightning last night in a thriller. And I believe, Justin, you can help me with this, but isn't that 5 of their last 6 they've won?
Yes, indeed. And that got them into the 500 club on the season after the worst start in franchise history, essentially, in the MVLC.
Yes, they've moved up in the standings. I think up a couple of spots in the standings in the Central Division, and they're really playing well right now. Their new players are playing extremely well.
Especially guys like Chris Jones at the point guard spot. But to swing the focus back here, Bruins have last possession potentially of the quarter. 16 seconds left, 15.7 exactly here in this first half of the St. Clair College Sportsplex. Bruins lead by 4. Brown taking it slowly. Known as a slasher, we'll see if she takes it in. Coach Kiss wanting Casera to close in. Brown does miss. Selena doesn't pass it anywhere after getting the rebound as that ends off the first half. A very rough one shooting-wise so far.
Well, Jana Casera did an outstanding job on the last drive. She stayed in position, moved her feet again, and didn't commit a foul. So that was a positive way to end the half. And St. Clair, after shooting as poorly as I've seen them shoot in many, many years in this first half, Justin, are only down 4 points. That also is very positive.
33-29 after one half of play. We'll be back right after this on We Digital Productions.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Welcome back to the St. Clair College Sportsplex. The Sheridan Bruins take a 4-point lead into halftime over the St. Clair Saints 33-29. On hand with me is Sean Douglas, the head coach of the Sheridan Bruins, and your thoughts on the first half.
It was a good first half. There was a game of runs. There was a time in the first quarter we got into a bonus early, and I was just pretty much preaching to them to just keep going inside, keep getting to the foul line. We kind of went away from it in the second quarter. They went on a run. We were allowing middle penetration for kick-out jumpers. So we got to clean that up. We got to do a better job of locating their shooters.
In addition to that, St. Clair put on, unfortunately, an ice-cold shooting display right there. How were you guys able to capitalize on that in addition to those adjustments? Just
emphasizing run out off of miss, try and get easy buckets so they don't really have to set up anything. We don't want them to overthink anything. We want them to play freely, but at the same time, we also want them to play with some smarts.
Let's take a step back and talk about the Seneca tournament for which the team took part of not so long ago. How did that experience help you guys out to get ready for the 2019 half of the OCAA season?
It was a great experience. I mean, sometimes girls can get complacent during the break, so it was good for them to get a couple extra games in and stay sharp. And we got to see some teams from the East, so that was a good look as well.
And what will be the keys for the second half, too, if you elaborate on that again?
Just being consistent, making a run, and withstanding their run.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Coach Andy Kiss here in just a moment on We Digital.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers, to find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor-Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Okay, welcome back. We're live at halftime. This time I have the Saints assistant coach, Phil Melanis. And Coach, it was a ice-cold shooting display in the second quarter. Just talk us through those 10 minutes.
Well, you know, whenever you go on a outside, you're not shooting well from the ball from outside the three-point line. You gotta drive and kick and try to get those open looks. You know, we had a couple chances at the three, and we're getting snuffed at the three-point line. That's just a bad situation, bad decision on a player, right? You got to fake that shot and drive, right? So we're just, you know, one of our best players right now not shooting the ball. I think she's 0 for 11 right now, but you know, she's our shooter and she's got to keep shooting.
And, you know, on the offensive end, if it's not Anna Lichny, it's Kirsten Tompkins who scored 9 quick points immediately. But on the defensive end, with Kaluta Maud starting, we're seeing a lot more presence defensively as opposed to yesterday. So what's that has to say about the defense today?
Yeah, with Kalut on, you know, Bozzy's a great offensive player. She's not that great on defense, but Kalut is a great defensive player and not great on offense, right? So you got to balance that a little bit. And she had a couple of chances inside and missed them on layups, but you just got to keep fighting through it, play good defense, and they're not shooting that well from outside, so I think we're going to pack the middle a little bit and stop their drives.
And how are you trying to get a good shooting display going on in the second half?
I think it's mental for them right now. I think they just got to think, you know, keep shooting, focus on that rim, and they're going to go in.
Okay. Thank you, Phil, for your time. See you in the second half. All right, Phil Melance, the assistant coach of the St. Clair Saints. When we return, I'll have Royal Church join me, and we'll explain the stats and facts of the first half. We'll be back.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future, and my path is St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
We are back at the Sportsplex, 4-point lead for the Bruins at halftime. Royal Church joins me right now, and once again, a really lowly second quarter for both clubs as far as shooting is concerned, Royal.
Yeah, as bad a shooting as I've seen by St. Clair as long as I've been doing color commentary for them. Janet Kucera and Kirsten Tompkins have 12 each, which is very good. Kirsten Tompkins has been an absolute joy to watch. She's hit 4 threes. She's played well defensively. She's been a spark plug. But that means the entire rest of the team has 5 points, Aaron, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the worst part of that is some say their best player, and certainly often their high scorer, Anna Ulichny, has 0 points, 0 for 11 from the field.
Right. She hasn't been getting any good looks so far in this game, but unfortunately that's been the story of the second quarter. Leading scorer for Sheridan right now, Teresa Brown, one of the players that we've been looking after. But what amazes me is the defensive presence from the St. Clair Saints. Yesterday it wasn't there down low, but today is there. You look at the rebounds, it's pretty much even at 22 apiece.
They're defending well, like you said. They're rebounding. They just can't put the ball in the basket. And when your best player, in particular this situation, Annie Ulichny, their best shooter, has 0 points at half, you are very lucky to be in the game. And we are in the game at 33-29. So if they can just pick it up in the second half, I think we're in pretty good shape.
How about Kaluta Mod starting? She's putting up a good defensive performance today.
She always was in high school at Holy Names, a leader on her team, handled the ball at point guard, played great defense. Not a great scorer in high school. She was just a 8 to 10 point player, but her strength is defense, ball handling, hustle, hard work, great work ethic. So she deserves a lot of credit for where they are now.
That covers the defensive end, but back to the offensive end. St. Clair has to get some good looks. How can they do that in the second half?
Well, I think, personally, Coach Kiss is going to try and get Annie Ulichny the first 2 or 3 looks. Run her off screens, stick her on the baseline, give her the ball, put her in a position where she can be successful, and get her the ball where she's comfortable on the floor shooting, most comfortable, so she can make that first shot. When a player like Anna makes that first shot, you know there are going to be more to come.
Could stir up a lot of wonders too. At the half, once again, the Sheridan Bruins are up 33-29 against the St. Clair Saints. We'll take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll have Justin Prince of Royal Church call the second half right here. You're watching the OCAA on We Digital.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
We are resilient, often knocked down, but never backing down. You can spend your whole life on the outside looking in, or you can live it on the inside. Because that's where your passion lives. The drive to push beyond the naysayers, to find the fire that ignites your toughness. Because the truth is, winning always comes when you start from within.
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm your co-host of the We Digital production, We Now. Anyone interested in promoting a business, an event, a book signing, or maybe even just making aware of the movers and shakers of Windsor, Essex County, We Now can do that for you. We'll get your word out. So make sure you email me at josie@we-tv.ca to book an in-studio session that will air live on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube.
Welcome back, everyone, to the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario, as the Saints trail to the Sheridan Bruins 33-29 in OCAA women's basketball action. Justin Prince alongside Royal Church. Let's look at your halftime stats entering this second half, and man, oh man, when you look at some of these stats for this second half, from that first half, it was a rough one, to say the very least, to your Royal, especially shooting-wise.
Yes, neither team distinguished themselves in terms of shooting the ball. The stats certainly bear that out. In particular, a player like Anna Ulichny, who's the 5th highest scorer in the entire league. She ranks 5th in scoring, and she's 0 for 11 in the first half. That is a mystery that St. Clair somehow has to solve.
Indeed, right now. And how do you solve it if you're a player at this point, or coach, I should say, at this point? Because that shooting percentage, 20.5% in the first half. Majority of them they made more shots. They made all but one of their field goals essentially from deep. St. Clair did in that first half. 7 of their 8 made shots outside the arc.
Yes, that's an oddity also. The fact that St. Clair knocked down so many threes, but they couldn't make anything in close. To solve Anna's problem, I know what I would do, and I'm sure Andy Kiss is a very experienced, knowledgeable coach. I would try to set Anna up to get the first couple of looks in the second half, early in the third quarter, so that she can gain her confidence back and make her first shot.
Indeed, we'd like to remind you, of course, the Westbys are coming up and proud to welcome keynote speaker for the 14th Annual Westby Awards, Nicholas Lidstrom. The Westbys will be held on Monday, April 15, 2019 at the Caboto Club in Windsor, Ontario. Visit thewestbys.ca and nominate a deserving athlete for their Westby Award. Tickets will be available soon. And of course, very big for the Westbys to get someone like Nicholas Lidstrom as the keynote speaker for this year.
Yes, it's pretty exciting. As you know, Justin, I'm very involved with the Westby Awards, and we're looking forward to having Nicholas Lidstrom as their keynote speaker.
We'd like to remind you, after this game at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Sheridan Bruins men's team will take on the St. Clair Saints. Once again, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on We Digital. You can see that on WeDigital.ca as well as on Facebook Live. Be sure to tune in for that broadcast. Of course, just a moment away from the start of this third quarter. Your final thoughts before we get things going here for this third.
Well, as I said, don't be surprised if St. Clair tries to get the ball to Annie Lichny right away.
Indeed, Justin Brentz alongside Braille Churches. We're underway for the third quarter between the Bruins and the Saints. Brown puts up the baseline, jump shot, gets it. And Teresa Brown, just 5 of 13 today, but has 15 points, majority of those inside. Selena, meanwhile, passes it off to Casera. Casera lined up with Selena, lined up along Ulichny, Ahmad and Tompkins. The long shot is good. And guess who makes it? It's Casera. And Casera able to get on the score sheet to start off this third for St. Clair. 12 points so far, make it 13. With it right now, the Bruins passed outside Brown. Brown, long shot off the back rim, picked up Tompkins. And Tompkins, a spark plug, as you've talked about from in that first half, gives it off to Ulichny. Ulichny misses once again. Ahmad's second chance. 14 seconds still on the shot clock. Selena back outside for the shot, no good. Tapped around, picked up for the fresh 14 by the Saints. Ahmad rolls alone, pick set by Selena, now with Casera. Casera steps inside the arc for the mid-range shot. And just like that, 4 unanswered points from Casera.
Actually 5, the first one was a 3, Justin.
Pardon me, thank you.
St. Clair's in a 1-3-1 zone right now. I think Andy Kiss has changed up the defense just to put pressure on Sheridan.
And that time forces the miss. Chance to take the leads for the first time since the first quarter, when St. Clair allowed a 10-0 run after being up 15-5 and then being up at the end of the first. Foul called as Zelena's going to go to the line to shoot for 2.
Kirsten Zelina, very important for St. Clair. Her rebound is exceptional. She got the rebound, the offensive rebound, put it back and got fouled.
And misses the first of 2 again. So far from the stripe, 1 for now 5 from the stripe, but so far as well, been active on the glass, leading the Saints in rebounds with 5.
And that ties the game.
And this could be huge, this possession here, but still a ways to go. 8:03 to go in the third quarter, just 2 minutes in here on We Digital for the second half of this matchup. Brown, baseline jump shot, gets it.
Somebody's got to get out on Teresa Brown on the baseline. That's 2 in a row she's made from there.
Tompkins nearly loses possession, does get it stolen away, trying to keep it in bounds down the baseline. Brown for another drive, no good. Second chance, drawn whistle as Camilla or Olena LaRock will go to the line to shoot for 2. Orlando LaRock again the line to shoot for 2 on this play.
Well, St. Clair made a nice little run there, Justin. 6 points, tied the game. And then, of course, gave up that jumper to Teresa Brown and a free throw there. So they're down 3 again, but very positive third quarter here so far.
Very positive indeed. Now here comes some of the press defense from the Bruins. Long pass goes to no man's land. No one there by at least 5-10 feet. Has now been turned over. Ahmad was the one with the pass. And the Bruins, for the majority of the game so far, we talked about this right at the end of the first half, have run mostly man-to-man, but they're also known to mix in some of the press on defense. Nearly tapped on the pass. Back outside, Jarvis, long 3, gets it. And the Bruins all of a sudden snap back with a 7-0 run. Amon passed along to Casera. Corner triple to respond off the front rim. Here comes Jarvis on the fast break. Jarvis gets it stolen away by Yelichny. Tompkins takes it up. Selena cuts to the basket. Tompkins finds Yelichny. Back to Selena. Baseline jump shot. Gets it to go. And the lead's back down to 5 for the Bruins. Taking it down, Jarvis. Passed along the perimeter to Brown. Haley Fur rushing towards the sideline to come into the next stoppage. Back and forth on the perimeter, 9 on the shot clock. Jarvis for back-to-back triples. This time nearly wedges the ball in the corner. Tompkins rushes down. Casera falls on down, coming down the floor with Brown. Ahmad tries to drive in, draws the late whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2. And the foul going to be called on Olana LaRock on the play.
Khalid Ahmad's strength is taking the ball to the rim, Justin, because she doesn't have a very good outside shot. So that's a smart play on her part to take the ball to the rim, and she got fouled for 2.
And misses the first of 2 for her first trip to the line. So far hasn't made a shot from the field so far. Pardon me, 1 for 2 from the stripe entering this trip. No attempt made shots from the field, I should say. Now 1 for 2 this trip. But has also been active on the rebounds and assist games as the press comes in for St. Clair. Brown backs on off Yelichny. Fur now into the game for St. Clair, lined up with Yelichny along with Tompkins and Casera as the shot gets made over Casera and good. Jarvis.
St. Clair's defense a little iffy here the last 2 or 3 times. They've got to step that up for sure.
Ahmad keeps the possession, 12 on the shot clock, blocked on the shot is Fur in the perimeter. And the rejection coming from McDonald. And you can see how that broke down there. Just a very good length, good vertical length, I have to say, that we see from McDonald. As the substitution comes in, Ritopoulos comes back in now for Sheridan. 5:43 to go in the third quarter here on We Digital, 10 on the shot clock. Fur with the inbound, trying to find somebody. Finds Tompkins. 7 on the shot clock. Baseline pass outside. Finds Yelichny.
There it is.
There
Thought
it
was
not.
in. Thought it was in.
Just has not been on the mark at all so far today. Still over from the field as the foul is called. Casera drawing the reach. The deflection actually went off Yelichny's shoulder, as you'll see on the replay.
There's Jana penetrating. She got hit by number 4, and Sydney Jarvis.
And that resets the shot clock to 14. Third personal for the Bruins in the quarter. Tompkins gets the triple.
There she is again. The spark plug has got the St. Clair Saints in the game.
15 points, all of them from deep so far. Just one missed shot as the Bruins try and respond. One possession game. Launch shot, missed, no good from Patopoulos. Picked up by the Saints. Wedging to the defense, Yelichny. Back out to Fur. Shovels it along Casera, back out to Ahmad. Ahmad goes back to the perimeter, sizes up Patopoulos. Avoids the first reach. Goes outside to Fur. The jump shot, no good. Tapped out for the rebound, picked up by a chasing Brown. Just the fourth rebound for Brown as she finds Jarvis. Jarvis has been fairly ice cold much of the game. Able to find Brown though for the bucket. Second assist for Jarvis. For Brown, that's 19.
St. Clair can't seem to get over the hump here, Justin. They get within one or tie it up, but they just can't get over the hump. They're stuck.
And ball driving down to the ball floor. Jump ball situation as Casera dives on top of it. Looks like McDonald, and pardon me, Jarvis. Has it still waiting for the signal for the direction, but you see how that broke down. And again, good hustle as Casera dives on top of a player. And it looks like they will signal it is Saints possession on the jump ball.
Yes, it is.
Fur gives it off to Casera. 4:15 to go in the third. Back outside, Yelichny. Yelichny in the lane, still no good. Still can't get a bucket with a fresh 14 now after getting their own miss. Pass on to Ahmad. Long three-point shot, count it.
Khalid Ahmad, who doesn't usually make those, made that one, and thank goodness the Saints are within two now.
Ahmad, when it comes to three-pointers, was actually 0 from the field entering today from deep on the season. If I'm reading this right, that is her first triple of the season as the ball's tapped out, Sheridan possession. Yeah, 0% for Ahmad from deep entering today. Jarvis inside, in the lane, Watson in traffic gets it. And still can't get over the hump as the Saints, again, two-possession game for Sheridan. Yelichny, able to find Ahmad. Fur tries to cut to the perimeter. Casera puts up the perimeter shot, no good. Again, picked up McDonald. Leading up the fast break now, Martin, the run and gun. Able to find Patopoulos for the bucket. And now it's 4 straight points again for the Bruins. Seems like every time St. Clair scores, the Bruins respond with 2 baskets of their own.
Absolutely, and that's part of the problem. Nice play by Janet Casera, but Khalid Ahmad cannot make the layup.
And Watson cannot keep the possession. Stolen away, Yelichny on the floor, draws the jump ball. Possession arrow still goes to Sheridan. And Watson had a lot of traffic to try and dribble through on that possession before it was tapped out of her hands. As Jarvis goes off to the bench for a substitution. Also coming back into the game, Selena for Fur. As it looks like, if looking this right, yes indeed, it looks like the Bruins going for a bit more size here with McDonald back, back on the floor now. Brown along with McDonald. Point guard spot filled by Martin. Back to the baseline, meanwhile. It's good and made by Patopoulos. Patopoulos makes it now a 6-0 run for Sheridan. 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Casera, baseline drive, draws the whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2. And for Casera, 17 points so far on the game. Chance to add to that here. And these are huge free throws too, again, because St. Clair, I should say, has continuously gone 1 for 2 every trip to the line since their first trip.
And St. Clair has to stay in touch, Justin. They have to stay close. And, they're about, if they don't score here, there's a chance they might get behind by double digits, which is not good.
And they make it 0 for 2 this time. Cannot buy a free throw so far. As now Brown able to shuffle it off. McDonald in the perimeter, back out Watson. Has made a long shot in this half. Misses this one. Second chance though by McDonald. She's been acted on the glass here in the second half. Watson, 8 on the shot clock. cuts in between two Saints, draws the whistle over top as he'll be inbounded down the baseline. Yelechny called for the foul.
Here's the replay. Kirsten Zelina guarding. I think that one was on
It
Anna.
is Zelina. It is Zelina. They just clarified through the PA system or second personal. Second team foul of the quarter. 14 fouls for Sheridan for comparison. Inbounded directly to Fatabulos for the bucket. It's now a 10-point lead for the Bruins, an 8-0 run. And most of those shots coming inside. Yelechny getting the pick from Zelina. Casera. Looks to the left, cuts towards the left. Backs on up, over top. Martin misses on the layup. As it goes off, Fatabulos keeps the possession to the Saints with a fresh 14.
The Saints haven't shot well from the free throw line the entire weekend, Justin. It's been not very good for 2 straight games. So they got to pick it up here soon because it's only a minute 37 left in the third quarter.
15-29 they were yesterday as Casera tries to add a triple. They make it, call it a 2 with a foot on the line, but either way, that breaks up the run. Still under 90 seconds to go in the third here on We Digital. Saints trail to the Sheridan Bruins in OCAA women's basketball action. Brown draws the whistle. Casera hits the deck. And we'll see which way they signal this and believe, in fact, they will have Brown go to the line. And a very hard foul just on the left shoulder of Brown as Casero hit the floor. And now they're saying it's going to be baseline inbound. Substitution coming in as well. Charvis back into the game to run the shooting guard spot. So going for more speed, it looks here for this lineup. Mostly guards on the floor now for Sheridan. And now they're saying sideline inbound all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's a different lineup. We haven't seen that lineup from them until now.
Indeed, right now, St. Clair also should note, known for running at times 5 guard lineups much of the season. Brown mid-range jump shot, no good. Chases down or a miss, draws the whistle. And they will say going to the line to shoot for 2. This time again, Casero back-to-back fouls. Second personal. Make it third. Coach Kiss not happy with this.
There were a lot of green shirts watching the play that time and nobody boxing anybody out. And I don't blame Coach Kiss for being very upset.
And the free throws made by Brown to make it now a 55-46 game. 1 for 2, I should say. As Yelechny tapped out of bounds by Brown. So Sheridan showing a bit of the press look once again, as now they will say going for the inbound will be Jamie Chauvin. Chauvin lined up on the floor along with Ahmad, Zelina, along with Casera and Yelechny. Taking a second for the play here before they allow them to go back into play and line things up. And you see them spreading things out, giving it to Casera for the play. Under a minute to go in the third. Huge clean block by McDonald, and a drawn foul by Martin. Looks like this one might be on Kaylee Chauvin, as this will bring the Bruins into the bonus. Yes, it is her first personal. But McDonald made contact with the ball to reject that right out of bounds, as Martin is the one they say will go to the line to shoot for 2. Martin makes the first of 2 to go up now double digits for the Bruins. The Bruins, while St. Clair has missed their free throws, the Bruins have essentially made 14 straight. They are now 17 for 18 overall on the game after going 1 for 2 to start off the night. St. Clair trying to break the press, tapped out of bounds, passing to Yelechny. And the basketball heads over to us as it goes back to the Saints for the possession. Chauvin with the inbound. Able to find Ahmad. Fakes the back and forth. Ahmad swings it out to Zelina. Gets the pump fake. Tapped towards the floor. Tapped out of bounds. And signaled towards St. Clair, I believe. Yes, indeed. And they're still trying to signal, yes, indeed, Saints basketball with 28 seconds left in the quarter, with 6 on the shot clock.
I think this time of the game is critical for St. Clair. They must score the next couple of baskets.
3 seconds to score on this possession. They can't do so. They turn it over down the sideline. And now with 23 seconds left, the Bruins will have potentially the last shot of the quarter. And you mentioned this was a crucial time in eating baskets. Couldn't get one to bring it to at least down to 10. 16 seconds left. Running the point, Sydney Jarvis for this possession. Sizes up Ulichny. 8 seconds left. Still trying to fake the back and forth. 3 on the clock. Pass out of bounds. They say it is tapped out of bounds. Leave off Casera. So 3 seconds left. Ulichny was the one-point defense. Tapped off someone's left hand. Bruins, huge collision on the screen. As colliding into Fatabelos that time was Casera. So they'll reset the inbound. No, they will send him to the line to shoot for 2 because the Bruins are in the bonus. And another miscue there on that screen being sent at Casera. Running over Fatabelos on the screen play. Misses the first of 2. 58-46.
Yeah.
3 seconds left. Casera can't even draw iron as after 3 quarters of play. As you heard just in the backdrop, potentially, Coach Kiss not happy after 3 quarters of play. Getting absolutely hosed, quote unquote, by the Bruins. 59-46 after 3 quarters of play. Take a step aside. When we come back, we'll have the final 10 minutes of regulation here on We Digital Productions.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Welcome back, everyone, to the St. Clair College Sportsplex as Andy Kiss tries to find any sort of adjustment that he can make. Down by 13 to the Sheridan Bruins to start off the 4th quarter. Justin Prince alongside Royal Church. They have just been way off today. 25% shooting, 8 of 17 from the stripe, struggling the whole weekend for the line. Nothing's really been working for St. Clair this whole weekend, in the second half especially.
No, Justin, you're absolutely correct when you say that. And Andy Kiss has tried to make adjustments. He's gone man-to-man. He's gone to a 1-3-1 zone. He's tried the 2-2-1 full court press. But the St. Clair offense has been stagnant the entire day. So they got to pick it up here. They got 10 minutes left to do something.
We'll see if they can wake up here with 10 minutes to go. Casera wakes up with the jump shot to make it 19 points on the game, but now still trail by 11. St. Clair going with the press for the first possession for the Bruins. Bruins quickly respond with the jump shot for Fatabelos down the baseline. And running gun once again from the Bruins to get the bucket. On the floor and turning it over, Ulichny giving it over to Brown. Brown gets the bank shot. And once again, St. Clair makes a shot. Bruins respond by making 2 more. On the floor for those Bruins, Brown along with Martin lined up with Fotopoulos, pardon me, getting that rebound. Fotopoulos along with McDonald, rounding out the 5, the former all-rookie team member in Leanna Rose Villages. That's the 5 for the Bruins, lined up against Ulichty along with Ahmad, Casera, Furr, and Tompkins. Shot no good for McDonald. Tompkins with the rebound. Tompkins finds Casera. Casera, again space for the mid-range. Make it back-to-back shots. And Casera making some much-needed shots for St. Clair here in this fourth quarter. McDonald, guarded by Casera, drives into Casera. No good as Tompkins gets the rebound. Just past 90 seconds into the fourth as Furr gets the baseline pass. Back out to Ahmad, wide open. Make it 3 straight made shots for St. Clair for the mid-range.
Here we got something going here now, Justin. If they can play on this momentum, get a couple of steals, play great defense, they'll be back in this game soon.
Right now, they nearly force the steal as Charvis gets the weak pass. Has to keep it away from Ahmad. Back to Brown. 8 on the shot clock. Bruins swing the ball to McDonald for the mid-range. No good. Tap to Casera from Tompkins. Trying to go up the floor. 3-on-1 on the defense as Casera hits the deck. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2. And now this is the challenge. Will they make the free throws after drawing this foul? A hard foul indeed, too.
Yes, a couple of free throws here. We'll get it under double digits. Now they got a shot at it. They got lots of time. If they keep playing aggressive, both offensively and defensively, they got a shot to win this game, Justin.
Timeout called on the floor by the Bruins. Of course, we like to remind you that the Windsor Spitfires are in action at home Thursday, January the 17th at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time as they take on the Erie Otters. They have a special promotion as well, too, with a family 4-pack, 4 tickets for $50 and a family mystery package. Feeling lucky, there'll be over 200 seat draws during that game on January the 17th. Offers available online in person at the WFCU Center box office. Be sure to attend that matchup. Should be a good one for the Spits and the Otters. Meanwhile, not been a good one for the Saints women's basketball team today, as we've talked about. Now that the gap is down to 11, what do you think Coach Kiss is discussing in that huddle in response to how the Bruins have been playing today?
Well, first of all, I think he's talking to his players. He's not yelling at them, which I think is the right thing to do now, because yelling at this point in the game is not going to accomplish anything. So he's explaining to them that they're making a comeback. They're playing well here so far in the fourth quarter. Let's make these free throws, get down, play great defense. One sequence at a time, and be positive, work hard, and play great defense.
Making the first of 2, Casera, chance to bring to a single-digit lead right here, and does. First time 2 for 2 since the first quarter. The Saints are at the line. They go with the press. Stopping at the baseline, Ulichny nearly strips it away. Passed along, swinging quickly to Martin. Cutting inside of the basket, Villages. Martin now cuts in around the screen, but McDonald knocks over a Saint. Misses the shot, Furr on the defense. Tompkins tries to take it back up. Ahmad has space on the left side. Stopped on the defense, back to Casera, stretching the D for the 3, gets it!
That one was from downtown Windsor. That was a long one.
Would you say near the Great Canadian Flag Project or more towards, say, towards the library as we have a travel? And now the Saints have took all the momentum back in this one.
They sure have, Justin. And I believe you'll see this was, about 1.5 feet, 2 feet outside the three-point line. So, but Jana can do that. And if she gets hot, she can make 4 or 5 in a row. So let's see what goes on here.
Casera now 28 on the game today. As the ball is pushed out of bounds, it looks like they will say the whistle against Villages. Blocking foul on the play. Second personal for the Bruins overall in the quarter. Villages her second. Saints will inbound it down the baseline. Casera will set up the play, finding them on. 7 minutes to go in regulation. Casera gets the pick from Ulichny. Ahmad.
Now's the time to get the ball to Ulichny. Oh, nice backdoor pass.
And no good. Casera in traffic. A decent backdoor pass there too, but now being swung to McDonald. McDonald wide open in the lane, gets it. And that brings it back to an 8-point game. Ahmad tries to slow it back down. Mismatch with Brown, swung to Casera. Stretching for the 3 off the front rim. Kept in bounds by the Bruins. Rushing up now Brown. Brown now matched up with Furr on defense. McDonald matched up Ulichny. Ahmad matched up with Martin. Beliges guarded by Casera. Beliges has the switch. Double team. And charge call. Casera draws the charge on Beliges.
Nice job by Janet Casera. And, you know, not so long ago, she took a charge and got stitches in her lip and a mild concussion. So for her to stand in there and take charges shows what kind of heart she's got.
Pardon me on the charge. That was the Brown, her 4th of the game. Casera misses her 3rd straight as McDonald finds Jarvis on the fast break. Jarvis chucks it up, going to the line to shoot for 2 now. And Jarvis been quiet today, known as one of the 2 players known to step up for the Bruins. Just 9 points entering this trip to the line. 4 for 10 from the field, first trip to the line to shoot for 2. Makes the first of 2. And the one thing I have to say the Bruins have been good on again has been controlling the tempo and trying to pull back momentum. Misses the second of 2 though, Jarvis. Ahmad runs it to the left side. Casera. Back out Tompkins. Back and forth with Casera. Finding Ahmad. Finding Tompkins on the touch pass. Gets it.
I think that was meant for Ahmad, and Tompkins got the ball.
But Ahmad would still get credit for assist potentially because that went off her fingertips right to Tompkins. Tompkins trying to help the defense. McDonald misses the first chance. Second chance gets the roll in as the Sheridan Bruins keep it a 9-point game halfway through the 4th quarter. Ulichny out of bounds, turned over to the Bruins. And a very bad possession there. Coach Kiss, I think, wanted a foul. As this continues to be a rough one. He still has 3 timeouts, 2 for the Bruins. Brown matched up with Furr. Brown, jump shot, gets it to go. And Brown's been on fire for Sheridan today. 25 now from the field. In points, I should say. Ahmad gets stripped away. Diving to the floor, Jarvis. And a jump ball called as 2 Saints and a Bruin get all jumbled up. They will say Bruins possession.
Sheridan's, you got to give them some credit, Justin. They've matched St. Clair's run and got themselves back up by 11 points.
And tapped out of bounds by Ulichny. It'll go back, stay the Bruins possession. But the Bruins have just been able to find ways to cut inside and end up catching the Saints in the middle of switches as Jamie Chauvin comes in now for Ahmad.
And you mentioned earlier, Justin, about how Sheridan's always able to come back and match whatever St. Clair does.
And that time missing the triple, but a foul called down low, over and back foul. And this could be a crucial one depending on who this is called on, as Ulichny was the one drawing it.
It's on number 4, Sydney Jarvis.
Yes, Jarvis, her second. If it was on Brown, who was in that area, that would have been a game changer because she's got 4 personals. Casera outside, corner triple. Couldn't get the lucky bounce. Second chance though, picked up in traffic and drawing the whistle, Tompkins. And that's going to be one that could potentially put the Saints into the bonus. Indeed does. This could be huge. And you see they're reaching in 2 different players for the Bruins. And if it is on who I think
it is.
Yes, it is. The leading scorer of the day today, Teresa Brown, with 25 points and 6 rebounds, her 5th personal. Tompkins makes the first of 2, and this could help the Saints here, because Brown had been their main offensive option all day.
She's been dominating the game, Justin, and with her out, St. Clair's got a chance here.
And stealing away from Potapoulos this time is Yelichny. Casera cuts inside, wide open lane, gets the banker. And now the full court press trying to break on through. Yelichny tries to reach in, call for the reach. That's her 4th personal. So now she, along with Tompkins, are in foul trouble for the rest of this 4th quarter. And we'll start off with the offensive play.
Here's Jana Kusera beating 3 Sheridan players and banking the layup in for 2 points.
And McDonald gets it knocked out of bounds off of her. 7-point advantage, momentum shifting to the Saints. Here's the worry though with the Bruins side. If you're a Bruins fan, Potapoulos, second lead scorer also with 4 personals. Stolen away on the baseline pass from Chauvin. Rushing up the floor now, Jarvis, right towards Casera. Call for the whistle, it's gonna go against Casera. That will be her 4th personal. And you be the judge. Feet are moving, it looked like, on the charge, I think.
Yeah, she leaned into her as she was shooting, so definitely a foul by Jana Kusera.
And now makes it now 11 for Jarvis. Who do you see stepping up now for the Bruins? Because we talked about during the pregame, Jarvis, known as one of those players that can step up, has been off the mark from the field today, 4 for 10. Potapoulos in foul trouble with 4. Who do you see stepping up? As it looks like Andy Kiss wanted a timeout, and now they're stopping in between the free throws for the timeout. Yes, indeed, that's what they're going to do. They will allow the timeout, I believe, here with 3:39 to go in the 4th.
I think if you're looking at someone stepping up for Sheridan here in the last 3.5 minutes, it definitely will be Sydney Jarvis, because she's a veteran player and she's ready to play all the time.
I think so too. The question is, can she get the shots together? Here is the live stats as they proceed with this 8-point lead for the Bruins, 71-63. Right now, 43% for the field, the Bruins, just under 40% still was the Saints. What's been keeping them in the game, though, 11 triples to 1 in this matchup, as well as really a strong 4th quarter now, essentially, as well, as mostly every statistic has been close here, Royal.
Most of the statistics are close, but if you looked at, Justin, if you look at points off turnovers, Sheridan is plus 10 in that category. And that's just about the difference in the score right now. So that's kind of the statistic that stands out here.
And now the timeout is officially given. They sent them back to the line. You've seen the second made free throw to bring it back to 9. And now Coach Kiss now inside the huddle here with this timeout with about 3:40 to go. We'd like to remind you at 3 p.m. Eastern time, the men's teams will take the floor at the St. Clair College Sportsplex, pending how this 4th quarter turns out here on We Digital. Be sure to tune in for more OCAA action.
Well, we're at 9 points here.
Yep.
And there's enough time left in the game. Sheridan's, as Justin mentioned, best player by a mile, Teresa Brown, has fouled out.
Yeah.
So St. Clair, if they can play good defense here, push the ball up the floor, and get some momentum, they still have a shot to win this one. And that's what Andy Kiss is telling them right now.
And
Jana Kusera has 30 points. Her career high is 34 versus Niagara on November 17th. So Jana's having a really, really impressive game today.
And they might need her and Tompkins to step up for the rest of this 4th. The problem is both of them have 4 personals, along with Anna Yelichny in this one. Yelichny finding Tompkins to Fur. Sheds the defense from the mid-range. Way too long. Tapped out. Able to be picked up once again by St. Clair. Tompkins for another triple. How about that? Yes, she's got it. Tompkins with 6 triples on the night tonight. McDonald rushes through the press. Able to find Jarvis back outside. Swung to Martin. Back to Veliges. Veliges, wide open lane off the front rim. Here comes St. Clair. Finding Ahmad. Ahmad blocked on the shot by McDonald. A second block on the game. Make it third part of me as Jarvis rushes up. Under 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Jarvis slowing it down. Drives towards Furr. Draws the whistle. And that's going to be the 4th personal against the Saints for Furr. That will be a foul, first one of the game. And it looks like they are signaling to send them to the baseline for the inbound.
That's a lucky break, Justin, because that looked like a shooting foul to me.
Then they almost signaled for a shooting foul at first, too, as Jarvis gets it inside for the Bunnies. Leads back up to 8. St. Clair not a lot of time to work with. Ahmad finds Casera. Casera, Yelichny to Tompkins for his 7th triple off the front rim. McDonald again picks up an air board. Stolen away by Tompkins. Rushes to McDonald, draws the whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2. For McDonald, that's her 3rd personal. And the Saints are in the bonus for the rest of the 4th.
Boy, Kirsten Tompkins has been, I know Jana has 30 points and has had a great game, but to me, I'm picking Kirsten Tompkins for player of the game. She's been absolutely fantastic today.
And not only that, she has 9 rebounds on the game, a possible double-double today. As she made both free throws, substitution onto the floor is going to be Alana LaRock, the center for the Sheridan Bruins. Bruins feeling pressure off the floor. Rushing coast to coast, Martin, and that could be a big foul. If I seen that right, it could be on Casera for her 5th of the game. As yes, indeed it is. You'll see on the replay. And Casera has fouled out with 30 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist on 11 of 24 shooting. A great performance for her, but now the Saints have to finish this one without her. And that could be challenging for the Saints because when she's been off the floor, they've been a bit ice cold offensively at times. As an understatement. Martin misses the first of 2 meanwhile.
Well, right now they're only down 6 with 2:14 left. They've got a shot, but Tompkins has to continue her excellent play, and Annie Lichny has to step up.
1 of 2 at the line. That time the Bruins, the lead stays to 7. Yelichny back and forth with Ahmad. Able to break through the press, finding for a baseline. Cuts inside, very tough layup, doesn't get it to go. Veliges double teamed. Now St. Clair trying to pressure up the floor as they Saints knocked out of bounds. McDonald losing the possession. The one calling the play that time, Chad Pereira, one of the officials for today, along with John McKibben and Barry Cullen. Furr will be the inbounded down the sideline. Under 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Buckle up your seatbelts as Yelichny still 0 from the field, makes it 0 for 15. McDonald taps it off of Tompkins to keep it Bruins possession in the double team.
0 for 15. I can't imagine that Annie Lichny, in all her years of basketball from grade 5 on, has ever been 0 for 15. Tough game.
Very tough game indeed. Breaking to the press, the Bruins. Now the Bruins can just start winding things down a bit. 12 on the shot clock, Jarvis. Calling the players back. Isolation, drives over Furr. She'll go to the line to shoot for 2 as the Bruins are now in the bonus for the rest of the way as well. As you'll see here on the replay, Furr drawing her 2nd personal.
Yeah, a lot to ask of a first-year player like Haley Furr to guard a player of Sydney Charves's ability and skill level. Very difficult task, and she's done her best, but it's just difficult.
9-point game, timeout called St. Clair. That's her 2nd last. They have 1 remaining here in the matchup as the Bruins bring it back to 9. at this point, what can you, let's look at the live stats here for this matchup heading into this timeout, the bench points. Look at this differential. 25 bench points coming from the Bruins, 3 from the Saints. Points in the paint. They've absolutely destroyed St. Clair inside, 38-6 with 8 fast break points. That says really much of the story here today.
Yeah, Sheridan's been taking one-on-one situations and driving the ball to the rim, drawing fouls, scoring layups. St. Clair has not been doing that as much. They've been depending on the three. And when you are so dependent on the three-point shot, you live or die by it. In this case today, it's gone against St. Clair.
And talking with Aaron Sanders, who will be hosting the post game for today's matchup, the paint points also were an issue last night for St. Clair in that matchup, in that loss to Humber yesterday, 88-68 to recap once again for those that might have missed. That was a rough game in the paint as well, and it's been a constant theme this entire weekend, unfortunately, for the women's team.
Yes, it has. And as you mentioned, both Aaron and Justin, yesterday against Humber, it was the same thing.
Now they have to try and do something, anything to close up. Still, anything can happen. Ahmad finding Tompkins for the foot on the line. Shot no good. Picked up inside Alana DeWalk as the press is coming from the Saints. They're saying push up defense. Trying to double team now McDonald. Ahmad now falls to single man coverage. McDonald rejected, they say off of McDonald's knee, as they'll go back to St. Clair. And McDonald has stepped up at points of this game, getting a few miscues in these past few moments, but still, anything can happen. Stolen away by the Sheridan Bruins. Chance for Martin to get the dagger to Jarvis. Baseline, gets the possible dagger. Timeout called, Coach Kiss. And that's his final timeout. And another miscue. And
sadly, that was a nail in the coffin, that last layup, Justin. It's going to be virtually impossible with less than a minute left to overcome an 11-point lead.
I'd like to remind you, the next Saints basketball game weekend will be on Wednesday, January the 29th, 2019. It's a weekend for someone on a Wednesday, I should say, with ladies at 6 p.m. Eastern, men at 8 p.m. Eastern, between the Lambton Lions and the St. Clair Saints. Be sure to catch the action on We Digital. And you're looking at some of the fans watching along, probably not going to be happy with the performance of the women's game. They have the men's game, of course, right after this at 3 p.m. Eastern. But at this point, Coach Kiss trying to say anything off, trying to set up anything offensively you can see on his clipboard, to try and do something, to try and close up any time. There's still a minute to go, mind you.
And I think I can't recall a more frustrating weekend of games with the St. Clair Saints here at home over the last few years. They've, on a big weekend when they were looking forward to moving up the standings, it just hasn't happened.
And if the score sticks the way it will, if it does, the Saints would fall to 6-5. The Bruins would move to 10-3 as Chauvin rejected inside the lane. 50 seconds left as the Bruins have a chance to just wind down the clock. And at this point, indeed, that blast shot made might be that dagger, as now it's just the Bruins just having the chance to wind it down. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Tapped out of bounds, as out of bounds goes Jarvis. And if the Saints want anything here, it has to be a made bucket within a possible couple seconds. 79-68, 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter on We Digital. Yelichny having a hard time getting across, finding Tompkins. Cross to Fur wide open. And they say she stepped on the line and will go the other direction, as that seals things up here.
Haley's had a tough game. A ton of turnovers, mental errors. She's a rookie, though. She'll get better. She'll learn. And this is a good training ground for her. Coach is giving her lots of playing time.
Now our timeout called on the floor. As the next webcast reminds you once again, as mentioned, the start time next volleyball broadcast after this for the Saints overall will be Saturday, January the 19th, 2019. The ladies start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, men at 4 p.m. as the Redeemer Royals look to try and win over the hometown St. Clair Saints. Be sure to tune in on We Digital Productions for Saints volleyball.
I love that team name for Redeemer, don't you, Justin?
Yeah, the Redeemer Royals.
It's kind of got a ring to it, doesn't it?
Exactly. Kind of a nice ring to it, a nice color tone. Of course, the Saints, of course, to mention with the Saints beating Humber last night. I believe that was with the men's game. With that matchup, yes, indeed, with the Saints, for the men's, for volleyball, I should say. Pardon me. As now, still 21 seconds left. Teams going through the motions, but at this point, game's well in hand. What do you think the teams will be taking from this matchup with 21 seconds left now?
Well, it's difficult to find positives in an 11-point loss like this, but the obvious one is Kirsten Tompkins, Justin.
Absolutely stolen away by the Saints as Mara passes it off to Tompkins. Chance for one last shot. Coach Kidd says, Ahmad, you should take it. Misses the shot. The final score, and this one, 79-68 for the Sheridan Bruins. They move into the double-digit wins club, 10-3 on the season, while the St. Clair Saints drop to 6-5. A rough matchup and a rough weekend for the women's basketball squad for the St. Clair Saints on home court.
Yeah, Justin, the win today would have moved St. Clair past the Lambton Lions and back into 4th place, but now they're kind of entrenched in 5th. So they moved down the standings this weekend, which is counterproductive, but got to keep their heads up, learn from this loss, and move on and get some W's in the win column.
Indeed, at this point, we like to remind you the next broadcast is just coming up in a few minutes, about 20 minutes time, for the men's teams for OCAA basketball action. Once again, the Bruins taking on the Saints in just a few minutes time here on We Digital. Take a quick step aside. You're watching We Digital Productions. Saints drop to the Sheridan Bruins and drop to 6-5 on the season.
Hi everybody, this is Tina Brigley, host of In and Out of Your Mind with Tina Brigley on WeTV. Join me and my guests while we explore ways to get out of your mind and into your life. Join us each and every week for a new show. Come see me here on WeTV.
I learn by doing. I learn by reacting to a situation. St. Clair puts me directly into my industry. I'm dealing with real patients, real life situations. It's not just theory, it's not book work anymore.
I choose to take control of my future and my path to St. Clair College. I choose to be here.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Welcome back to the St. Clair College Sportsplex, where I'm joined by the head coach of the Saints, Coach Andy Kiss. And even though it was a nice goal shooting display in the first half, you guys really picked it up in the second half, but it wasn't enough. I mean, talk about what happened through the second half.
I just thought we played sloppy. I thought we didn't execute and didn't attack the pressure well. That's on me. I've got to have them in a setup in a system where they can attack a press and score against it. We didn't execute in some 2-on-1s, even went 3-on-1 near the end there. But you know, it's I hate cliches, man. I'm not a happy guy right now. You know, we got work to do.
I understand it right there. But you got to give credit to Kaluta Ahmad, who started for Nord Bazzi today. She put on a good defensive effort. In addition to that, Kirsten Tompkins, good scoring to play, and Janet Casera ended up with 30 points. So you could see a lot of teams, a lot of players becoming more balanced and scoring more balanced with the team. What is it about these ladies?
Well, it's a team. And, of course, Jana and Kirsten had outstanding games. But you need a team. you know, and it's tough for two players to carry a team to victory in sport of basketball. So, you know, even when a player has an outstanding game, we weren't successful. So, you know, when you have a true team, that player isn't happy, even though she may have played well. So, you know, we've got work to do. We lost Logan Cusera early December, and now it's unfortunately really showing. And we lost Bazzi yesterday. But you have to overcome that when you have a team. Kids got to step in and give you something, and your best players have to lead you.
Absolutely. Noted. Thank you for your time, Coach.
No problem.
And good luck the rest of the way. Okay, that'll do it for the women's portion of this OCAA doubleheader, and we will be back in about 20 minutes or so for the men's portion of the doubleheader between the Sheridan Bruins and the St. Clair Saints. But for now, this be Aaron Sanders. You're watching We Digital, and we'll come back right after this.